Welcome back to the Content Swap Podcast. You are joined by Parker and
Aaliyah.
And if you're new to the Content Swap Podcast, this is a podcast in which we exchange a piece of content at the end of every episode, engage with it for the week, and then we discuss our thoughts throughout the episode. So before we get into it this week, it's been a couple of weeks since we've recorded an episode. And we always like to provide some kind of update, what's going on, what's new.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? What's new? What's going on with you in the past couple of weeks?
Obviously, the biggest thing is we're engaged.
What? Show the people. Ooh. If you're listening on audio, we're sorry. Go check out the YouTube video. Yeah.
You proposed.
What?
You were like, I want this girl forever.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, easy choice. Episode like 63 we're on now.
Mm-hmm.
I knew once we passed 60, I was like, okay, now she qualifies.
Only if they make it 60 episodes.
60 episodes into a podcast with me. That's how far you need to get.
You've never done a podcast with anyone else.
I know. It is a joke. It is a joke.
I know. How was the experience for you?
It was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the easiest decisions I've ever made.
No.
And even purchasing a ring, it's a big commitment. It's a big financial commitment, and it's easy, no problem.
Nice.
So yeah, and then the act of doing it was also not really nerve-wracking. I was like, yeah, she's gonna like this no matter what. So
yeah,
it doesn't have to be the smoothest thing I've ever pulled off in my life, but.
I'm not hard to please.
Yeah.
And I love the cute little put together kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like the intimacy and the personalization, I guess, of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I made you a pretty cool Lego stop motion video.
That we reference all the time.
Yeah.
Now.
I think that means I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorite things. I mean, you always make me handmade birthday cards and things like that, and I absolutely love it. And so for you,
because that's what you like.
Yeah, and for you to put in the time to make a stop motion Lego movie, as a part of the proposal, it was perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything else. It's all of our favorite things, and it's homemade, and you did it really well.
Thanks.
You executed it so flawlessly.
With
what you had.
Flawlessly jank is what I would call that.
With what you had.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Of course. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome for being proposed to.
Yeah.
Wow. Great. Well, what else is going on? So much. So many details.
Yeah.
This backdrop.
Yes.
This is new, actually. We're recording on the couch in
Back
our house
home.
in Virginia for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. The past 2 weeks have been crazy. We had that whole crazy weekend, and then wrapping up my internship, even though it got extended. So I have a 2-week break, and then I go back. I work remotely again.
Yeah.
And then
Meanwhile, I've just been working.
yeah. And now it's getting used to being back here and being in this space. And I have 2 weeks off, but I have a lot of, since I have the 2 weeks off, trying to get a head start on the wedding planning stuff. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, just I have a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff just to get that out of the way before life gets busy and I don't find time to make those appointments. And also trying to catch up on things that I've been wanting to watch since I do have these 2 weeks to rest. I can actually sit down and watch a bunch of the things that I've been putting off.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Well, you gave me permission to give something lengthier as an assignment. So, just remember that.
Yeah. I'll do that while I watch TV.
Yeah, we'll see.
If I can.
No. But anyway,
no.
Anyway, moving things along. Well, yeah, what else? Anything else to update on?
Not that I can think of.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
What?
I do want to say I've been watching a lot of Mike Myers movies.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a good update. What? Tell more about that. Why?
After we watched Austin Powers, I was just like, I don't like the only Mike Myers movies I'd seen were Shrek, obviously, and Cat in the Hat, which I love both of those things.
Yeah. Forgot about Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, I love both those things. And I was like, I don't know who Mike Myers is. I don't know. I've never seen his other movies. Like, what does he have out there? I was like scrolling through HBO Max, or Max, I guess now. And I was just trying to find something that I'd never seen before and came across Wayne's World. And I was like, this is referenced all the time. It's got Mike Myers in it. I'm going to check it out. See if I like it.
Yeah, I was going to assign that to you.
Oh, I'm
at
sorry.
Some point.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Pretty much everything that you have checked out in the past like 2 days, you're like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to check this out, was on my list of things to assign at some point.
My apologies.
It's okay.
But yeah, well, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Interested in like what the second one's about, but I thought it was like
I like the first one more.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. There's not much to it. It's not like a very dense movie or anything. So
Yeah.
thought it was cute. And then I watched I Married an Axe Murderer. Have you seen that?
No, I like no.
Okay, because I actually really enjoyed that, and I think I might be something I assign you during like Halloween time at some point.
Oh, fun. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I very much enjoyed it, and I was like, I like the less. I mean, Wayne's World, he's like kind of goofy, but I like the less goofy Mike Myers.
You like serious Mike Myers,
but he's not necessarily serious because he's still got quirks. Yeah. Like his characters have quirks, but. Yeah, it's not like the I'm a complete idiot, like watch me do dumb stuff type of, Mike Myers. And
that's
I
like that. Yes, that's Mike Myers at his core.
Yeah. So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. You also, I heard you watch this little movie called Fast Five on
Watched as a
Saturday
strong
night.
Term for what was happening.
So that was on my list of things to assign you for the longest time, but then I was like, you know what? Like, let's just watch it.
Yeah.
So
I asked you for that one though. I was like,
you did.
Yeah, I was like, we can watch it now or we can wait.
Yes.
You were like, let's watch it.
Well, but I said I was going to make you comment on it on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So what'd you think about that?
I hated it.
Man, rough.
I hated it. It's dumb.
No, it's a good one.
It's terrible. If that's the good one.
That's the good one.
If that's the good one, I literally refuse to sit through any others because like I just can't. The dialogue is so bad.
That's okay. Fast and Furious like was never really that good.
Yeah.
And then suddenly that was like the best one. And it was like it was like the Avengers of Fast and Furious movies. Like everybody got together.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, whoa, like everybody from every movie, because every movie is different.
Yeah.
Is here. Wow, excellent. And then
oh my gosh.
And then they pulled off this awesome heist, and it wasn't like they didn't go all in on just like big set pieces all the time. There was slow moments, medium moments, and then the big moments. The big moments are a ton of fun. So, and then like The Rock joined the crew. Well, he didn't join the crew, but he joined the movie. He joined the family in a sense, Yeah, it's a good time. It's perfectly balanced. And then every movie after that is basically like Fast 5 2, Fast 5 3.
What?
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm just not a like a person who likes movies centered around cars. So if it's going to be a car movie, the dialogue needs to be on point. Like I need to be invested in the story, and that's just not what that movie is.
You don't get it. There's a scene where they need to steal a bunch of police cars for this bank vault heist that they're about to pull off, and like 4 of the coolest characters all steal this. They each steal like a Dodge Charger police car, and then they're like on the street, and they're like, "Hey, let's bet $1 million or whatever for like part of our cut for pulling off this job, and we'll have a drag race and like the next quarter mile, big bet." And it's like, oh my gosh, these 4 super awesome characters are all driving the same car. So everybody's like on an equal playing field. It's ultimately going to come down to like their skill. There's no engine BS, none of that. It's not like, oh yeah, he was driving like, a Skyline, so it's got the special engine. No, like everything is the same. So I was like, oh, the racer in my heart was like, oh, I love that. It made me want to go race other people in like video games and stuff. So
it did nothing for me.
Yeah,
Nope.
it did everything for me. So I mean, I get it. Different experiences.
I can understand the appeal of maybe the first one because like what movies were out there that was like about car racing, I guess, in that sort of sense, like street racing. Were there movies before Fast and Furious?
No.
Right. So I could
They're
understand.
not even about street racing anymore. And
Well,
the fact
anymore, but like the
that-
first one, was that
yeah.
not?
The
Didn't they have to
first one
establish
was
that?
about it was about breaking into like a underground street racing scene.
There we go.
But it wasn't ultimately about like, you need to win this race or whatever. Like there was a race at the end, but it wasn't like there was a reason. Well, it was like there was a story around the race and a story around like yes,
These
ultimately it
characters.
is a race. It's not like they had a race at the end, not to be like, oh, we need to get to this point and I'll get there faster than you. Ha ha ha. It was like, no, like we've been through some stuff and we're going to settle it with a race. And I love that.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, regardless of like, even if it's not about the race itself,
yeah.
like I can understand the appeal of the movie because it's like this is a whole world that's like new, we haven't seen before, and so like it would make sense why people would enjoy the first one. But anything after that, especially with the way these scripts are created,
whatever.
I'm like, no, not interested.
The fifth one was really when they, doubled down on like Vin Diesel being like, and then
I hate the way he talks.
And then
I'm
it's
like,
just like, then they just do that for every movie because that
Yeah.
was, again, it was the best one. And like I said, it's Fast 5 2, Fast 5 3.
And they just have the dumbest one-liners.
Fast 5 6 just came out.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous.
Anyway, well, I'm glad we commented on that.
Yeah.
Anything else? You started watching The Boys as well.
Yeah.
That's also something I was going to assign. So
Sorry.
now you got to say something about it.
I mean, so far I'm enjoying it. I'm not very far into it. I'm only on the second episode, and I just kind of started that one. I didn't realize how long the episodes were. Actually, I was just talking to my friend Ashley, and I was like, I was telling her how I'm enjoying it, because she's always told me to watch it, and I was like, yeah, I really like it. The episodes are kind of long though, and she was like, oh, I feel like I'm getting so old, because I'm like, oh, can't this just be like 30 minutes? Like, why does it need to be an hour?
Yeah.
And I was like, is that an old person thing or a young person thing? Because I feel like the youth have no attention span.
Yeah, that's a young person thing.
And I was like, that feels like a young person thing.
Yeah, I started watching that show Warrior. It's on Max,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I can't sit through these episodes because they're too long.
Yeah.
I'll watch them for like 20, 30 minutes at a time. But I haven't even watched it in like a month or two because I was like,
Yeah.
those episodes are too long.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I feel like watching The Boys. I'm like, all right, can
No,
we
but-
like chop this up a little bit?
But it's different when you like enjoy it.
I mean,
know?
I am enjoying it, but I'm still like, it gets to a point within the episode that I'm like, all right, this feels like it should be the next episode, like type of thing.
So I guess like it's a binge versus like released periodically kind of
I guess that makes
difference,
sense.
you know?
Yeah.
If something is coming out weekly, for it to be an hour long is like
That's nice.
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know, you're like when Game of Thrones was coming out every single week, it was like,
makes
oh,
sense.
I don't want this to end.
That's how I felt like Insecure was only 30 minutes. And I remember like she kept getting tweets and everyone would be like, make the episodes an hour. She's like, no.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's like,
just
I remember you're like
different
watching
kind of writing.
Yeah. I remember watching it every week being like, that episode flew by. Like, it's already over. We just started it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I guess that makes sense if it's coming out periodically. But yeah, binging it, I'm like, this is kind of long. I'm watching a whole movie 5 times in this one day. That's a lot.
Yeah, it'd be that way.
Yeah, but it's good. I like it. I'm gonna keep watching it.
No, yeah, I mean you should.
I hear season 3 sucks.
What? Who said that?
Ashley.
Yeah, okay, well That is one person. Don't base your whole opinion on one person's opinion.
I trust Ashley's opinion.
Okay, well, do you trust my opinion? Apparently not, because you hated Fast Five.
I think we differ in what we like in media.
Okay, well, I thought the third season was just as good as the other seasons. If anything, I thought the second season was the weakest one. So,
okay, interesting. We'll see.
I don't think any of those seasons are like weak, though. I thought they're all good.
Yeah, she just said that she didn't like the third season as much as the first two.
All right, well, whatever. I liked it.
Okay.
I'm like, ugh,
I know.
Coming to bat
You're
for
like, what
the
the
third
heck?
season of The Boys. They got a spin-off show
The cartoon?
coming out. No, not well, yes, that does exist, but they got a spin-off show called Gen V coming out. I won't comment on that because
is it related to that like Club V thing or whatever?
not just
Okay.
it's about like I think it's about like college superheroes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the craziness.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. And then they're working on season 4. So, but I think they might have halted production on that.
Is it a strike?
Yeah. Or no, wait. I don't think that. Carl Urban was working on something recently.
Who's that?
Oh, I think it was the Mortal Kombat 2. Carl Urban plays. He's the Australian dude. Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
like
okay, wait.
him.
I think he was thinking. I think he was working on Mortal Kombat 2, like the sequel to the live action movie. And they had to shut down production because of the SAG-AFTRA stuff. Well, okay, cool. Anything else?
No. What about you?
Nothing's really going on with me.
I had like 10 things on the list.
I know. I'm just working. We got engaged. Yeah. We're back in Virginia. Happy to be getting back into like an old routine, but maybe spicing it up, changing it up a little bit. But yeah, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 16 yesterday, and I was just after like not playing it for 2 weeks, and I was just like bored. But I'm gonna finish it. But like, oh gosh, like talk about just the highest highs and lowest lows. It's and those lows, they're so low. I was playing for like an hour yesterday, and I was like, all I've done is walk from one place to another and have a different conversation, and then like, deliver stew to a person. And like, there's this part where you have to build this thing. And so you have to go on these like 3 different fetch quests to just get the parts for this thing. And maybe you have like 1 or 2 fights along the way. But I'm like, why put that stuff in front? Why not say like, oh, we need to go build this thing, and then just have them build it off screen? Don't make me go and do all the things if all I'm going to be doing is having like 1 or 2 fights with like random enemies to go get that thing. I don't need to see that. I don't need to experience that. There's just a lot of things like that where I'm just a little baffled. Like, why are we spending time on this? Why not spend time on like the big stuff that matters? Rather than spending, it's like 80% of the time we're spending time on the small stuff that you do not need to pay any attention to. It just bums me out. Like I can't believe that. I'm like genuinely, the game is sitting. It's like every time I play it, it demotes itself down like a letter score in my, or a number score in my head for the ultimate review that I'm going to be writing. Like when I first started it, I was like, this is a 5 out of 5. And then as I progressed, I was like, well, I guess it's more like a 4 out of 5. And then I got to a 3.5 out of 5. And right now it's sitting at a 3. And that's really disappointing. Because I was so stoked on this game. And maybe by the end I'll be like, wow, that was great. But like, there's just maybe it's my short attention span, but I'm just like, I can't sit in front of a TV and just be doing this if all that's going to be happening is some slow conversation about a bunch of nothing. It feels like a genuine waste of my time. If it was on the Switch, that'd be different because I could watch something while I'm doing it. And I don't know. It's really made me think about what kinds of games I'm interested in playing. Like it's actually made me think, like, I don't know how excited I am to play like future PS5 games. I don't know. Yeah, it's really just made me feel like if I can't play it on the Switch, then like that's just too much to be dedicating to like one thing. If it's not going to be like holding my attention in the way that I'm like looking for when I'm playing a game. This game just does a terrible job at holding my attention. And it almost seems like it has no intention of trying. And it's just like it kind of blows my mind. Sorry, I've been holding that in. Anyway, but I started a separate JRPG. Well, it's not technically a JRPG, but it's in the style of a JRPG, called Chained Echoes on the Switch. And it's like pixel, and it's just really like taken a lot of, I think, classic JRPG tropes and improved them in nearly every conceivable way, and I enjoy that. I'm not really able to follow the story very well. A few technical terms about different locations and stuff, but I'm enjoying just the feel of it, and that's cool with me. And it doesn't feel like it's wasting my time. So, nice. Yeah. Aside from that, still playing Pikmin 4. That game, I played some of that last night, and I was like, now this is a game that knows how to hold my attention. I realized that like every piece of dialogue basically does not matter. I can just skip over that because it's just filler. But when I'm actually playing the game, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time. This is like requiring my brain power in a way that I find very, very, very satisfying. And with Final Fantasy, like, it's only using your brain power during a fight, and in every single fight, I'm just doing the same combos over and over again. And there's too much time between like getting new combos that it's like, I don't know. So yeah, bummer on Final Fantasy, but Pikmin 4, check it out. And Chained Echoes, so far, so good, leaving a good impression. I wouldn't normally be playing 3 games at a time, but I blame Final Fantasy for this. Anyway, that's all. Yeah, I'm excited to record the rest of this episode, and I'm excited for next week's assignment.
Me too.
Cool. Anyway. Oh, am I first? I am first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of words for me, but here's a few more. So this week for the podcast, I was assigned Grown Ups, which, if you haven't heard of Grown Ups, is a little movie that was made in 2010 starring Adam Sandler and all of his friends. So it's Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, David Spade, and Rob Schneider. Their characters, who knows what their names are, get together to... Oh, sorry. I'm reading my note here. It doesn't even say characters. I just wrote, these 5 actors get together to make a movie about how they're all older and they are no longer in their prime, and now their lives all contain a bit more responsibility.
Well, I wouldn't say they're no longer in their prime. Adam Sandler's doing fantastic.
He's not... I wouldn't say he's in his prime, but he's doing good. Adam Sandler's prime was in the 90s, but he...
Oh, you mean like them, like as actual people? I thought you were talking about their character.
Oh, no. I'm talking about them as people right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused. I was like, wait.
That was my whole backtrack. I was like, oh, wait, I'm talking about characters? No. I'm still talking about actors right now.
Okay,
Because the movie is like, it's meta in that way, in that, like, yeah, it's about 5 old friends getting together, but ultimately... It's really about 5 old friends in real life getting together to make a movie where they can just joke around, have fun, reflect on how they're a little bit older now. They got kids. And that's exactly what the movie is. There's really like almost next to no plot. Like they all grew up in a small town. They were on an old basketball team in like 8th grade. They won some championship, and their 8th grade basketball coach, I guess, was it's so important that they go to like speak at his funeral. He passed away, so that's why they all get back to the town to attend his funeral, and I guess he had an old lake house that they all hung out at a lot, so they go stay at his lake house, and they all reconnect with each other and spend time with each other's families. And by the end, only Adam Sandler's family really seems to learn anything. But at least everybody else was there, having a good time.
Kevin James learned something.
Kevin James's character is pretending like he's successful and he's like the partner of some business, when in reality he lost his job and like doesn't have a job. So did he learn something at the end?
I think he has a job. He just is not that job.
Gotcha.
Right? But I mean, he learns his thing is like he's finally truthful with like his friends, and he's like, look, this is like what's actually going on. So he stops being a poser. And also,
I'm glad we spent a whole movie on that character development.
And also, him and his wife are now different parents to their child.
Yeah, because they're better. Yeah, they're better at parenting. David Spade's character is like, he's the single one that he doesn't learn anything.
Yeah,
he's there. Yeah. Chris Rock's character, his wife is pregnant. She's played by
Maya
Rudolph. And do they learn anything?
I think she learns to appreciate him as a stay-at-home dad.
That's true. That's true. She does. Yeah. That is true. And then Rob Schneider, his whole character is centered around like health and wellness and having like always being interested in older women. Yeah. So his girlfriend or his wife is like 20 plus years older than him. Yeah. And they joke about that a lot. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of fun joking about that. Mm-hmm. And like he doesn't learn anything.
I feel like there was something there with his like kids, but his daughters. I don't remember though.
Man has like 3 daughters. They all look completely different. Only one of them actually looks like him. The other 2 are just straight up models. So I don't know what that was.
I mean, that was just like he says like he's been in like 3 marriages.
All right. It's all just fun and dumb at the end of the day.
It is.
So yeah, like, you know, it's about something, but it's not really about anything.
I think David Spade's character, because remember he was like kind of interested in what's his name, Rob Schneider's daughters.
He found Rob Schneider's daughters attractive.
And so I think like his thing is like he's not that bad of a dude to where he would like harm his friends, and like there's a moment where like
he wouldn't go after his friends' daughters. Like that's messed up.
Yeah, it's like
I'm so glad we learned that for him. You know,
like he sucks, but he doesn't suck that much.
Like, all right. And am I supposed to feel satisfied?
We need him for the humor. Who doesn't love David?
I guess
Spade?
My point is like this feels like the Avengers of like Adam Sandler's friend group. Yeah. And, you know, they all get together. And you know, like Adam Sandler, he's Iron Man and Captain America all rolled into one. And Kevin James, he's like the Hulk and maybe also Captain America.
What? And they're all Captain America.
Yeah. Chris Rock, he can be War Machine. He's there
Who the
too.
Heck is War Machine?
Don Cheadle's character. David Spade.
Because he's black.
All right, well, who would you give Chris Rock to?
I don't know. Why can't he be Captain America too?
Sure, he's Captain America. That's fine with me. David Spade. Yeah, I just picked random people.
Chris
like
Rock
David
is happy.
Sure. David Spade is Thor. I picked because I mean he's always drunk all the time. You know, yeah. Rob Schneider. He's like Hawkeye level. You know. He's like terrible. There on the side. Yeah. And then we can give Salma Hayek like Black Widow or something. And I have nothing else for everybody else. But like, you know, that's kind of what it feels like. You're like, oh yeah, we just got everybody together. Yeah. And it could have been a well-written movie, but then I don't think it would have really like played into their comedy styles. Yeah. And it almost kind of feels like in order to cater to just their general banter as a friend group, like outside of the movie, it had to kind of be this mess of nothing. Yeah. There's just scenes that play out over the course of the weekend, and none of them are important or moving the movie forward necessarily.
Yeah.
They're just there. Let's have some laughs. Ha ha ha.
That's a fair point. I think I like that though. I like the like simplicity of it. And I think it speaks to like what the movie is about. It's like these old friends that just get together and like their kids play. Like and they just like enjoy camping. And that's all you need, you know? And it's like it's sweet to see these group of guys get back together and like rekindle their friendships. It's good to see the wives like being together and like talking about whatever they talk about. And then it's super cute to see the kids, and like the kids are like, you know, generation of kids where it's like video games, that's all I care about, that's all I want to do is stay in the house, and like they're getting out, they're exploring, and that's
kids
adorable.
Do grow a little bit.
Yeah, and so it's just like it's cute. It doesn't need to have a plot per se. It's just like let's just like sit and watch this like feel good movie.
Yeah. And then the kids all want to get chocolate wasted.
I want to get chocolate wasted.
Yeah.
One of the kids actually improv'd that. Cameron Boyce, may he rest in peace.
Oh.
He improv'd that and they liked it, but they decided to have the little girl say it because they thought it'd be funnier.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did write down in my notes here that like, oh, yeah, you're getting old friends back together. Like, it is nice to see all these guys in a movie together. I don't know if like this specific combination of people has ever been in a movie together. So it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then like, what's his name? Oh my gosh, old guy.
Old guy.
Well, he's not old. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. I was like, the old guy.
Steve Buscemi like has always kind of like had random appearances in some Adam Sandler movies, and this one is no exception. And like, I was like, oh, okay, that's fun.
He like doesn't have to do anything. He's just funny the way he like looks.
Yeah.
Like he could just be in a movie just standing there, and I'd be like, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Dang.
No disrespect to him. I absolutely love Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, like, it's just a vehicle. Like, the whole movie is just a vehicle for them to all hang out and enjoy themselves and make a little money on the side too. And that's, you know, I don't. There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, imagine how fun it was to probably film this.
Yeah.
Like, you're just hanging out with all your friends.
Yeah.
Just like dying laughing.
Even though, as a movie, it may technically not be very good. You had a fun time. Yeah. Stupid little stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope they look back on having made these movies and be like, oh, it was a good time. Yeah. Remember when we did Grown Ups?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because Adam Sandler did Funny People the year before this.
I hate that movie.
And it's, you know, I thought Funny People was going to be, I guess, more fun.
Right?
But,
same.
But his character in Funny People is like reflecting on literally like the same type of career that Adam Sandler had, and kind of being like, why don't I just make all these like, you know, throwaway like McDonald's movies? And then he proceeds to make more throwaway McDonald's movies. So
you consider this a throwaway McDonald's movie? I
mean, given that this is an Avengers level Adam Sandler movie, I guess it's not quite McDonald's. It's more. This is like a Red Robin level movie.
I feel like this is Adam Sandler's take on a comedy that is also family friendly. Like
I think that is giving the movie more credit than it deserves. Yeah.
I feel like this is a nice family friend, because like when I think of McDonald's throwaway movies, I'm thinking Jack and Jill. I'm thinking freaking the one with what's it, Andy Samberg or whatever.
Yeah,
like whatever that mess
I upgraded this one to Red Robin.
I don't know.
Chili's.
This is like a Chick-fil-A movie where it's like, if I'm gonna get fast food, I want this one. Which, like, I hate to say that because like problematic, but Chick-fil-A is good.
I think Just Go With It is a Chick-fil-A movie.
What? Just Go With It is a freaking Cheesecake Factory movie.
Okay.
That is peak rom-com.
Okay, well, at least we agree that Just Go With It is better than this.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so that's my point. Like, Just Go With It is just, you know, it's the Iron Man 3, right? Because it's just him, right? And then you got the Avengers level grown-ups movie, and it's like not as good. Like if Avengers was not as good as Iron Man 3, we'd all be a little disappointed. And that's how I feel.
Okay.
You get my point though, right?
I don't know.
You don't agree necessarily,
Yeah.
but you understand
I get it.
how I feel.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
It didn't touch your heart.
the grown-ups?
Yeah.
No. Touch my heart where?
Because it's just sweet.
I mean, yeah, it's sweet. I enjoyed watching it. I don't regret watching it, and I'd probably watch it again. Yeah.
No.
But, you know.
I will say there's some things that don't hold up well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, any comedy from 5+ years ago, honestly, like 2+ years ago at this point, things are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, like it made me want to watch Grown Ups 2. I'm just not saying like, you know.
Grown Ups 2 was not that good.
I'm not going to go celebrate this movie. I was hoping it would be more.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no, okay. Let's put it this way. I had no expectations going into this. Did it meet my expectations? Absolutely. But because of those expectations is why I have not seen the movie until just now. So,
okay.
there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. Any other thoughts before I get into facts?
Well, I had 2 questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
This is so hard. It's so hard. It's between 50 First Dates, Big Daddy, Just Go With It, and Uncut Gems.
Oh.
But I mean, do we count Uncut Gems? Because that's not made by him.
I would say favorite Adam Sandler like comedy movie.
Okay, so it's between those.
My favorite performance of his is easily Uncut Gems.
Okay. Okay. I think the one that I watched the most out of those 3 is probably Just Go With It.
Yeah.
But I feel like Big Daddy is just such a good movie.
I have never seen you watch Big Daddy.
I know, because I don't know. It's just not my go-to.
I don't think I believe that.
Maybe I'll go with it. I think it's fantastic. I have the DVD.
No, Big Daddy was my first Adam Sandler movie. I used to love Big Daddy.
Colin Dillon, so cute.
I used to love
Scuba Steve.
Yeah. I'm Scuba Sam, Scuba Steve's father. Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
No,
Rob Schneider's in it too.
I don't remember that.
He's like the mailman.
Oh. But yeah, it's so sweet.
He's always hanging out at their house. Yeah.
But yeah, I probably watch Just Go With It more.
No, you definitely do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also love
Not 50 First Dates?
Okay, there was a point in time when I was in college, 50 First Dates was like my comfort movie. Like it was, I was always watching 50 First Dates.
I still think it's your comfort movie.
It's my summer comfort movie.
Okay.
I don't really watch it.
Just Go With It as your year-round.
It's my year-round. Just him and Jennifer Aniston. Something about that works.
I enjoy the murder mystery movies.
I don't.
Okay. Murder Mystery 2 was nothing to write home about, but like,
yeah.
If Murder Mystery 3 comes out,
yeah,
I'd be like, sweet, I would watch it. He could drop Murder Mystery 3, 4, and 5 all in one go, and I would watch all 3 of them. You know,
there's something about because Jennifer Aniston, her kind of humor is like a sarcastic kind of humor, and then he's just so goofy that like the two of them, like the banter they have between each other, even on like when they were promoting, I think, Murder Mystery, and like I saw a clip of them on the red carpet, and it was just so funny, and I was like, they just work. They work well. They play off each other well. Yeah.
Well, I would say that my favorite Adam Sandler movie is it's between like Happy Gilmore and The Waterboy for me. Which I don't think you've seen either of those, right?
I've seen parts of The Waterboy. I haven't seen the whole thing though.
They're just like they're so perfectly dumb.
I can't do the Adam Sandler with silly voices.
Oh no, like that's like what put Adam Sandler on the map was silly voices. And like I've seen Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, I'm blanking what was the movie I just said. The Waterboy, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds, Little Nicky. I think they kind of go down after that. What did he do after that? Click. Ugh. Yeah.
Bedtime Stories was kind of cute. That was like a family movie.
I didn't really like Bedtime Stories.
Really?
But what does this say that we've seen all these movies? You know, like
I absolutely love Adam Sandler.
Oh, wait, 50 First Dates? Yeah.
Adam Sandler could put out trash, and that man is just like gold in my mind. Like I love him so much. He just seems like such a great human.
I mean, I would love to be friends with him. You know? Like, not so that I could like be in movies, but just so that like making movies with my friends is just what I do for fun. You know? Like, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah. He just seems so like laid back, down to earth, would have your back. Like, I don't know. He's just chilling. Like, I love the celebrities that are just chilling.
Yeah. We don't give that man enough respect.
I do all the time. I think he's very attractive too.
Oh, wow.
I want to watch that. He came out with a basketball movie on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and dramatic Adam Sandler is very good.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He can do it all.
Yeah.
Love that man.
Yeah. Wow.
Adam Sandler, if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah.
Keep
Major
doing
respect.
what you're doing.
Yeah. On my 6th grade yearbook, when they asked me who my favorite actor was, I said Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I told you this. So when he was filming Blended, there's he like in that movie he works at like a Dick's Sporting Goods, and it was filmed at the Mall of Georgia in Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
And I remember one day, it was like after school or something, my friend texted me and was like, Aaliyah, Adam Sandler's at Mall of Georgia, because I live down the street from Mall of Georgia. She was like, Adam Sandler's at Mall of Georgia. Do you like want to go? And I was like, no, you can go ahead. And I regret it to this day, because like an hour later, she sent me a picture of her with Adam Sandler. Oh. And I was like, no. And like
that would have been pretty tight.
Every time I walk into Mall of Georgia and I see that Dick's Sporting Goods, I'm like, the biggest regret of my life.
Yeah.
Not going to see Adam Sandler.
Dang.
I know.
Wow.
Oh, she was so lucky.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Like, I kid you not, like an hour later, she's like, here he is. I was like, dang it.
Have you seen The Ridiculous Six?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Doesn't look very good. But he made that one. It was like one of his first Netflix movies.
Yeah.
What was that one that he and David Spade did? Where like he makes David Spade like divorce his wife or something, and then they're like,
I don't know that one.
Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. I kind of enjoyed it though. It's pretty good.
Did you watch Hubie Halloween?
No.
It was so dumb.
I got like 10 minutes into it and was like, I'm not gonna watch this.
It was so dumb.
Yeah, that's okay. That's McDonald's.
Yeah, that one is McDonald's.
Yeah.
Somebody enjoyed it.
Yeah. What would you say is his worst movie that you've seen?
Probably that one with Andy Samberg.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
Hated it. I never saw Jack and Jill, so that might be the worst movie.
I mean, it doesn't count if you haven't seen it.
Do you remember we were watching Survivor and the prize was to watch Jack and Jill? And I was like, that's the worst. I was like, that's the worst present.
Yeah. And then Coach, one of the contestants, was like, Jack and Jill, loved it. Adam Sandler knocks it out of the park again. I'm a big fan.
I was like, the way the marketing team was like, y'all better say good things about this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, because what a sucky. I mean, I guess if you're on Survivor, you'll take anything.
Yeah, I think.
Like, what a sucky reward.
I think you could see some of them watching it, and some of them were just like,
like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the funniest thing to happen in Survivor. I was like,
that
dang.
was pretty solid.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know which of his movies I would consider the worst. I don't know. Like, Grown Ups doesn't rank super high,
but it's
in
not
comparison
his
to everything else. I don't know. I wouldn't call it his worst, but like of the ones that I've seen,
I'm gonna have you watch that one with Andy Samberg.
Off the top of my head, like Click is pretty low.
I like barely remember Click. I've seen it a few times and I still don't remember what happens.
Yeah. It got sad.
It got sad.
Yeah, it got sad and weird because the remote kept fast forwarding on him, trying to like automate his life, and he ended up skipping like major chunks of his life, and
oh my gosh,
having to rewind and go back, and like before he knew it, his dad was dead, and he was like, oh my gosh, and then he had to like, he was trying to talk to his son and be like, we need to connect, but then and his son would be like, oh, okay, Dad. And then he'd rewind and he'd see like the last time he talked to his own dad, and he was like on autopilot or whatever. And
oh my god,
yeah,
so depressing.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it
I
gets
didn't
super
realize
sad.
that.
Like out of nowhere, it's like, oh, I just wanted to watch a funny Adam Sandler movie where he can control time.
Yeah.
Like, and then it got super depressing. Maybe there's a message there.
Maybe.
But yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Goodness.
Anyway, my next question is.
I love that you're giving me the question.
Yeah, I know. The worst movie wasn't even supposed to be one of my questions. I just figured I'd ask because he does make some bad movies. What's a type of movie that Adam Sandler hasn't done that you would want to see him make? Like he's done quite a bit. That's what's interesting. It's like he's done the Wild West movie. He did the video game movie. He did the Heaven and Hell movie. He did the football movie, the golf movie. He did 8 Crazy Nights, which was animated. He's done an animated movie.
Wow.
And it had a basketball scene in it. He just made a basketball movie.
Wow. I would like to see a Adam Sandler movie where he's interacting with, like, kind of like a Space Jam sort of thing, where he's interacting with characters.
Animated characters?
Yeah.
But not the Looney Tunes?
No. It doesn't have to be existing characters. Like, it could be like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of thing.
Oh, so Adam Sandler, fake cartoon characters,
yeah,
basketball.
It doesn't have to be basketball.
Oh,
I'm just saying,
it would
like,
be fun.
I'm just saying, like, well, that's already been done, so it's like,
I want them to make Space Jam 3, make it Adam Sandler. I would, you know what? I would watch that.
Ooh, or let's get an Adam Sandler horror movie.
Hubie Halloween?
That's not, well, I guess that it was kind of supposed to be like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
He's done a murder mystery movie.
Yeah. A detective movie. Oh, I guess that's murder mystery.
Yeah, he's done everything.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Good on him.
I know. He's done the Shoemaker movie. He's done the I've got so much money I don't know what to do with.
Has he played a real life person before?
He did Sandy Wexler. I don't know if that was a real character, but it seemed kind of based on perhaps a true somebody that was real. Like paying homage to somebody that was real.
Yeah.
He's done everything. He's done the hey, we're kind of old and now we've got responsibilities movie.
Let's get an Adam Sandler Christmas movie.
8 Crazy Nights. He's Jewish.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's get a Hanukkah movie.
8 Crazy Nights.
Oh.
Yeah. 8. The 8 is for
going over my head.
Yeah.
My apologies.
The 8 Crazy Nights. That's Hanukkah. Yeah. He literally has a song. Bad. He has a song, like a Hanukkah song. Yeah. It's called like the Hanukkah song.
Why do I feel like I've heard that?
It's like na na Hanukkah. Na 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 na.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Oh ho ho.
Why don't we have an Adam Sandler musical? He likes to put music in a lot of his. He sings a song in 50 First Dates.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
A musical with cartoons, like the Muppets. I mean, they weren't cartoons; they're puppets, but you know.
We're gonna go on his IMDb page after this and be like, "Oh my god, he made it in like 2007."
Literally, I know he's made so much.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Good for him, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad he's like still visible.
Yeah,
because he's been around for forever.
When's he going to space? Has he done a sci-fi movie?
I don't think so.
Bedtime Stories had sci-fi scenes. Yeah. He did his own Inception movie. Yeah.
No.
Well, okay. On that note, what are some other Christopher Nolan movies? Ooh, has he done a magician movie? Does Hubie Halloween fall in that?
He's gonna be in the new Now You See Me.
I wouldn't watch that. I would watch Adam Sandler Space Jam all day though. See? That sounds like a blast.
I think he needs to interact with, because he's goofy.
Yeah.
He should interact with some, characters.
I want to see a grown-ups Space Jam crossover.
What?
Wait a minute, they had a basketball scene at the end of this movie where they like.
There's a lot of basketball scenes in Adam Sandler. He enjoys basketball quite a bit.
So that he doesn't need to make. Well, he just made a basketball thing.
That's why I'm like, it doesn't need to be a basketball movie.
Yeah, I just like seeing him do basketball.
I do too.
All right. Well,
facts.
Yeah, hit me with some facts.
Like we haven't even gotten to that.
Which movie are we giving facts on? Grown Ups? Oh, yeah.
So apparently Adam Sandler had written and made plans to release this film in the mid-90s with Chris Farley, who was set to play Kevin James' role. But it was shelved after Farley died in 1996 or 7. And so, yeah, then they eventually came back to it when this one came out. Or for this one.
So, I mean, that was around like just a few years after he got started making movies. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. He also bought each of the cast members a new Maserati after the movie premiered, which, like, wow.
Okay.
Wow. He's just sitting on money.
Gosh. Okay. Good for him.
Also, so this is a not so fun fact,
Oh, no.
and it really sucks. The studio execs did not want Selma Hayek casted because they wanted someone, quote unquote, less ethnic. But Adam Sandler shut them down hard and was like, literally, do not bring that up again. I gave her the role. So another reason why we love Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
That's like
the dumbest reasoning I've ever heard.
Literally.
That literally makes no sense.
It doesn't. And Selma Hayek is a bombshell. Like, if she's going to be in a movie, put her in there.
Yeah.
If she's interested, put her in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just her look. She's great overall.
But. Yeah.
So Kevin James's character, whose name is Eric Lamonsoff,
right,
is mentioned in The Wedding Singer and in Click.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they had a tendency of doing this for a few movies. Like in Tommy Boy, it's about like Tommy Callahan's auto parts, and then I can't remember what movie. But there's like a scene in, I don't know if it was an Adam Sandler movie or a different like David Spade movie, where like Callahan Auto Parts was like on a billboard or like had a commercial or something. Like they had a tendency to reference each other's movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. Because when you notice it, you're like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's in the same world. Cool. Maya Rudolph was actually pregnant during the film, so it was not a fake stomach.
Wow.
Yep, she was pregnant. And last, you asked me to look and see if the zip line. There's like a zip line water park scene.
There's a water park scene which you probably saw in the posters or in the trailers back when this movie was coming out. Water park looked like a ton of fun, but then there's like a zip line that zips from this tower, and then there's a bunch of pavement underneath it, and then a pool, and it's at an angle. And it looks like the most dangerous thing that would not be sanctioned by a water park. Yeah. So, yes, I did ask you to look into that.
Yes. And it was hard to find information about it, but from my understanding, it was fake. It was not real.
Okay. Sure.
But you want to know how they did it?
I don't know. No, I don't need to know how they did it, because I could do that. I could do it. But is that a kind of thing that a water park would have?
No. So where I found that it was like not real, it's like that would be super dangerous. Like there would be lawsuit. Like it would literally not be possible. People would die.
It was like the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what? Who? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is the most Adam Sandler movie logic thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I don't.
Well, then I think that answers my question.
Okay. Well, that's all the facts that I have on this movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Thanks.
Love the juxtaposition between this and our next pick.
Yes. Shall I dive in?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, I just gotta find my notes here. All right. So, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, I was assigned Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I'm not sure when this came. When did this come out?
2008.
2000. Oh wow, that's sooner than I thought. I thought it came out earlier than that.
What? Okay. Fullmetal Alchemist, the original anime, came out in 2003, and then they remade it 5 years later as Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Because I'm already getting into facts, but that's important because like when people say watch Fullmetal Alchemist, they are saying watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Fullmetal Alchemist is still good in its own right, but this is like a remake. It's not a sequel. It is a remake because the original anime was coming out the same time as the manga. So there comes a point where it completely diverges from the story of the manga, and they had to kind of come up with something original, which goes in a bit of a wacky
I see.
I heard it, like I've heard it's still pretty good. But yeah, like I heard what the ending was for that one. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like that's weird. Knowing how I know that this one ends, it's like that's a completely different thing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this adapts the manga, like the full manga, as it was supposed to be.
Okay.
That's why they made it so soon after that.
Got it. Cool. So if you're unfamiliar with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, it is about two brothers, Ed, who is the oldest brother, and Al, who is the youngest. And they learn how to perform alchemy. And
what's alchemy?
I will say it gives a definition of alchemy, and it's like I don't even remember. It's like making stuff out of matter.
It's like alchemy.
Yeah.
The I don't know.
It says it every episode, and I was like, now I know what alchemy is.
It's like the method of
creating things.
Yeah, it's like deconstructing and reconstructing matter.
Yeah.
The law of equivalent exchange. Like nothing can be made from nothing. Everything has to be made from something.
Yeah.
So it's like
basically it's magic.
I mean, it's kind of like magic. Like if I had this wooden table in front of us, I could use my alchemy on it and turn it into like, I don't know, a big wooden staff or like a wooden sword or something. Like you can basically take something that's made of a certain material, or you just need the materials, and then you can make stuff with that materials. Like you could deconstruct those atoms, I guess, and then reconstruct them as something else.
Yeah. There you go. That's alchemy.
Which in practice looks like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Like he's pulling like metal spears out of like concrete.
Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. So the two brothers learn how to perform alchemy, and they decide that they want to try and bring back their dead mother. This ends up being a really scary thing where they fail to bring her back, and because they tried to create a person, which you cannot do, Al, the youngest, loses his body, and Ed loses an arm and a leg. And so Ed basically puts Al's soul into this like armor, and so he's not a body. He's just like if he takes off his like armor, it's empty, but his soul's put into it with alchemy or with like magic or whatever.
I will say this is a very confusing component, and the way you're explaining it is adding to that how confusing this is.
He just put his soul into the armor.
Okay, their mom died. They said we want our mom to come back to life. Let's use alchemy. They figure out what are the ingredients to the human body.
Right.
And it even includes it's like salt and water, and like
potassium.
It even includes lime.
We have limes in our body.
Yeah.
What?
And they're like, all right, like let's put this together and make a person. And yeah, I guess there's like some secret like truth behind the science that like it's taboo to attempt doing this. So the fact that they did,
I feel like you're making this more confusing.
Yeah, I know.
I should have just left it at
the show just leaves it confusing. Like Ed sees the truth of like everything, and there's a price to be paid for that. And the price is his brother's body and his leg. And then when he realizes that his brother got taken away, he gives up his right arm to then transmute his brother's soul to the piece of armor.
I feel like my explanation was not that confusing.
Okay, well,
a simplified
it's all
version.
Confusing. It's all super deep though.
Yes.
It's like scary.
It's very scary. That's actually one of my notes. Is like this was a much scarier show than I thought it would be. But yeah. Anyways, now you have Ed and Al. Al is an suit of armor, and Ed is missing an arm and a leg. And they end up joining the military. And as they're kind of in the military, they decide to seek out something called the Philosopher's Stone that they believe will bring their bodies back. And so that is kind of the journey they're on, is to identify or find this Philosopher's Stone to get back to normal life, essentially.
And keep in mind, like, the military, just the world in general, is full of alchemists.
Yeah.
The military is full of alchemists.
It's like it's a whole system. It has rules, things like that.
Like,
so yeah.
People who are talented enough as alchemists and join the military are like instantly promoted to the ranking of major, which is pretty high up. And are given like special privileges and special access to research materials.
Yeah.
And they're like expected to uphold it's like getting a PhD for the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is triggering. So that's essentially what the plot is. My thoughts on this show. So I thought it was very interesting and I did really like it. Every time because I've heard of Fullmetal Alchemist for so long. Anybody I knew who was into anime, they were talking about this show. So I kept hearing it. I honestly thought it was going to be something along the lines of like One Punch Man, or like with that, not necessarily with the same humor, but like I thought Fullmetal Alchemist was going to be this kid who like was super strong and like fought people. Like I thought it was like an action.
That sounds more like Mob Psycho 100. I actually haven't even seen Mob Psycho, so I can't really comment on that. But
yeah, or maybe like a better comparison is like My Hero, but like with someone who's a little bit older. Like I thought it was about a kid who had some sort of super abilities and would like fight people. That's what I thought this was. I was not prepared for the witchiness of it, like the scariness of it, the depressing aspects of it. Like it was a lot. It was just a lot.
How we watched 11 or 12 episodes.
Yeah. And like it was just I liked it a lot. I think this was not the timing that I would have wanted to watch it, because I think it was a bit heavy.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't in the mental space for something that heavy and that depressing.
I mean, when are you ever in the mental space for something that heavy or depressing?
I wrote down, like, I think this would have been a good, like, fall, wintertime thing where, like, you're in the house, you're cozy, and then, like, I could just binge it.
Well, we've got the fall coming up. We can binge it then.
Well, I have my Halloween picks first.
Well.
But, like.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just, like. In the summertime, I tend to navigate to your dumb, fun, like happy-go-lucky type of movies. I like love all I've been watching movie-wise are comedies, because like that's just the mood that I'm in. I'm in like this really good mood, and so to sit and like watch this, like as much as I loved it, I was just like, my heart can't handle this right now. Like there's one episode in particular,
and yet you're watching The Boys.
Because that's just like insane. Like that's not depressing. Right. It's just insanity.
Yeah, The Boys is just a lot to like stomach sometimes. And I don't know, Full Metal, despite being depressing, like I love watching depressing stuff sometimes. Like when it's something that's like it's a combination of depressing but cool and intriguing.
Yeah.
Like that to me, that's ideal. That's peak content. Like that's the stuff that I like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think there was a turning point for me, because there's an episode where there's this guy who's trying to, his license for like, I forget what they call him, a state alchemist or something like that. Mm-hmm. His license is about to expire.
This is the 4th episode. So do we spoil this? Because it's so early.
This show has been out for so long.
All right, fine. Okay. 4th episode, keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yes, but also trigger warning, because.
Yes, very much a trigger warning.
Yeah.
But his license needs to be renewed, and like in order to get your license renewed, you have to like conduct some big research. Like you have to discover something big, regarding alchemy, and so he ends up.
His whole like skill with alchemy is with chimeras, which is the combination of 2 different species being put together. So like, you know, you put a bird and a horse together, you'll get like, you know, a hippogriff or something, or a griffin.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Ed and Al spend a decent amount of time at his place, and they're like playing with his daughter, and like he has a dog, they're playing with the dog, and I don't even really remember why they were there, but
they were there like researching. His research on chimeras was like potentially helpful
Useful.
in their search for the Philosopher's Stone.
Got you. So they're that's what Ed is like looking into all his research and everything. So by the like end of the episode, this dude combines his daughter, his like 3-year-old daughter, with the dog, and it is like the most depressing and like super creepy thing. And he's like, I did it. Now my license is renewed. And I'm like, you just sacrificed your daughter and the dog.
Yeah.
And like, look at this thing. And then like another trigger warning. Another alchemist who has this like whole mission he's on where he's like killing other alchemists.
Yeah.
Comes and kills him. And kills. And like the dog, which is also the daughter, is like, Daddy hurt. Yeah. Oh, I like don't even like. I'm gonna cry sitting here.
It's got this like really sad, creepy voice too. Yeah, so haunting is the right word.
And like I might literally burst out in tears right now because I hated it.
That's what's so good about this show.
No, I was so uncomfortable and so disturbed, and like that's like the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. And then the guy kills the dog / daughter as well.
He puts it out of its misery.
To put it out of its misery. But like still, just like the fact that even happened, that's the moment I checked out. I was like, I cannot handle this right now.
That is okay. So like that whole episode is it's famous for being just so dang dark and depressing.
Yeah.
The rest of the show is not like that. That is like,
I don't know, because shortly after that's when we really get the backstory of like what happened when they were trying to like resurrect their mother, and that was also terrifying.
Okay. Yes, all the things to start, like, you know, you got to build the world, you got to show like how evil alchemy can be.
Yeah.
And then you get invested in the characters and the world, and like you're really rooting for the characters.
Yeah.
Because you grow attached to the characters, and their personalities, and like it's also a very funny show at times.
Okay, I disagree. And this is another pain point.
It's trying to be funny.
This is a pain point in my opinion, because you do have these really dark, disturbing, terrible moments. For me, the humor needed to be more funnier. Sorry, it was not at all.
I enjoy the humor. You hear me laughing.
I did not find it funny at all. There's like Ed has this thing where like people call him short and he really hates it.
Well, okay, that's like you know.
I just like, to me, like
that's low-hanging fruit humor. That's like,
yeah,
you know, that's not their best material.
But they made it such a big thing.
Yeah, because it's a character attribute of his. But there's also a reason why he's short. It's a plot point.
Still, like there's not one moment that I laughed. Like I just, and then, I mean, he is a child, so his humor is very childlike. But still, I was just like, it's not giving me what I need in order to feel okay.
I just feel like that's fair. I just feel like with the emotional attachment to the characters, like watching them be happy and like have some humor as a viewer, for me, like cheers me up from that, from the dark and depressing moments, and like adds some levity to it, even if like the humor is not necessarily funny. It's like it's this lighthearted playfulness that's like
but a part of it too, like, because I feel way more attached to Al than I do Ed. Al, the youngest.
That's fair.
I feel way more attached because you just care. Like he's so young.
He's so young. He's
body.
So sweet.
And he's such a sweetheart. But that makes it even more depressing because it's like.
That's when I love that.
No, because it's like, you know, he has maybe a moment of like relief.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's just going to go back to being stressful because like he doesn't have a body. He just wants to be a real boy again. And like, I want to cry. I hate it.
Well, keep watching it.
I can't. I might actually throw up.
Like, keep watching. It just honestly, like, it just gets better. Like, it's such a good show. It's easily my favorite anime. I know you said, like, oh, isn't One Piece your favorite anime? I mean, maybe, but like, it's different. It's just different because Fullmetal Alchemist is over. One Piece is not. One Piece is like 1,000+ episodes. Fullmetal Alchemist is 64 episodes.
Yeah,
and it's like, I've seen it twice. I mean, it's so, even like, it's been, I think, 3 years since I watched it last time. And having watched like a bunch of different anime with you, I mean, we watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is super depressing.
It is.
A lot of death, a lot of eating.
It is.
Of people.
But it feels, I don't know, something about it feels different.
And Attack on Titan has like no humor.
That's true.
And
but that's the thing. It's like either be full depressing or full humor. or like, do your humor right.
Fullmetal Alchemist is good because it's like, it's depressing, but it's endearing. Like, it takes you through a range of emotions, and through those range of emotions, you build more of an attachment to the characters and to the universe as a whole. And it also does an incredible job at explaining the rules of the universe to you.
Yeah.
So you know what's possible, you know what's not. It's not going to pull a Dragon Ball Z where suddenly the main character has reached a new power that was never possible to hit before. It's not going to Deus Ex Machina its way through the story. There's a reason for everything. Like, even some of the smaller details about like a character or like their backstory or like, things that you might not even realize, like, are going to get explained, are going to get paid off later on. And for a show that's only 64 episodes to be able to do that and fully deliver on it, like, the ending is fantastic. It's not even remotely close to being a disappointment. And for like, it's a 5-part show. I think the first part is the weakest of the 5 parts. It's still really good. But like, when I think about all 5 parts of the show, it's like, this first part, which is the first 13 episodes, is like, it's the introductory sequence, but then once it gets going, like, it's so good.
I mean, it got going from the jump.
Yeah, I know, but like, when it really gets going.
Goodness.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I believe that. Like I said, I liked the show. I just need to be in the right time, like in the right headspace for it.
Well, I'm always going to be down to watch it whenever you're in the mood.
You don't look confident about that.
I really want to watch it. I think I like this show so much that if after recording this podcast we go like 3 weeks not watching an episode, I will be like, we have to watch Fullmetal Alchemist because I want to right now.
Well, why don't you just watch it? You don't need me to watch it with you.
Because I want you to watch it.
Well, don't hold
your
breath.
The point is, this watch is going to be with you.
Okay.
And it's important.
But you want me to watch it where I'm going to enjoy it. Because if you're like, we need to watch it, and I'm going to be sitting there like, this is not what I want to be watching right now.
Like, even one episode will suffice. Anyway.
I think that's all that I wrote down. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all that I wrote down.
Well, this is my favorite anime, as I said. This, to me, I don't know if I would call it a comfort show.
Not at all.
But if I was like down in the dumps, like if I was going through it, this is a show I would watch.
What?
Yeah.
If I were going through it and watched this show, I would be a mess.
See, like, this is a show that I can cope with because I love the characters. I love the universe. It like I would choose this over Avatar: The Last Airbender even as like a comfort show. I like this more than I like Avatar. And I love Avatar. Who doesn't love Avatar? But like this would rank higher as a comfort show for me, just because like I know it's so good. Like I love watching things that are like so good.
Yeah.
And I think I also like was going through it the first time I watched it. Like I was dealing with some stuff and I watched it then, so maybe that's why. Now that I think about it,
Maybe.
Yeah. Or then like my going through it game would be like Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's not really depressing.
I was like, that's just like a fun.
That's
thing.
a nostalgia thing. Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it to the show. This is like, I feel like for me, a lot of anime can be the same. They can be very similar.
Yeah.
And so I always get really excited when an anime stands out and I'm like, whoa, this is like a plot I never thought to explore or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I will give it to that. Like, I feel like this is along the lines of like Death Note for me.
It's unique.
Yeah. And so like, that's why I'm like, I do want to watch it. It's just got to be the right timing.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, as far as like, I don't have too many facts here. I mean, the whole like this is a remake of the original show is probably the biggest fact to know. Mm-hmm. However, you did ask, how did they make Alphonse's voice?
Yeah.
Because Alphonse's voice, his voice is, because he's a suit of armor, his voice has this very like metallic sound, like metallic echo sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, what they did was they used a metal bowl on a stand. Like,
I figured it was something like that.
Like, and it sounds exactly. Once you realize that, you're like, oh, that's exactly what it sounds like.
I was like, they had to have that voice actor like speak into a cup or like a metal like.
Yeah, it's a big metal bowl, and they're just
I knew it.
Yeah. They even said the voice actor didn't even wash the bowl.
Ew.
Because they didn't want like the surface of it to change in any way possible to make sure that the voice stayed consistent.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Between the two versions of the show, Brotherhood kept most of the same English voice cast, except for Alphonse. The original actor was voiced like by a like pre-puberty young boy, and then I think he grew up, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the voice actor for Alphonse in the English dub of this is a woman. She's able to do the voice with the metal bowl and all that.
Yeah.
All right. Aside from that, this show, did you see it?
No.
All right. What would you say this show has on IMDb? Like
rating wise?
Yeah.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
Probably like a 9.
Yeah, 9.1.
Yeah.
What do you think? Where do you think that makes it stand in the top shows rankings on IMDb?
I don't know. Like number 10?
It's number 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
I mean, you're 7 off.
So.
Anyway, yeah, it's got a 9.1 on IMDb. It's rated number 17. Top rated
one?
show. Number 1 is like, I don't know, Planet Earth or something. Like that doesn't even count. It's like, I'm sorry, when like nature documentaries.
That doesn't count.
Okay, there's like, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is number 17, but it's like
creative.
There's like 5 nature documentaries in the top 10.
I wouldn't count those either. It's not like creative.
Yeah.
Storytelling, I guess.
I'd say as far as narrative shows goes, Breaking Bad.
I was gonna say Breaking Bad is up there, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like Breaking Bad is
Which
up
I never
there.
finished.
Game of Thrones is up there. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think, is like number 5. Honestly, it's really high up there. But like as far as animated stuff goes, Avatar: The Last Airbender is the highest, and then Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is the second highest. But as far as anime goes, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is the highest rated anime on IMDb.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It is storming out there.
It is storming
I keep
outside.
looking out there. I'm like, oh.
Anyway, it's a fantastic show, and if you could use alchemy, what would you do with it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I'd be so terrified, especially after seeing this.
Yeah.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Cook. That's it.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd try recycling.
Recycling.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, isn't that smart?
Yeah.
I'd be
the
like,
world that way.
like, guys, there's a lot of recycling opportunity here. There's a lot of money in recycling in the alchemy business.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're all about the money. I'm like, saving the planet. That's nice. You're
Well,
like,
yeah,
money.
Also, yeah, saving the planet. Yeah. Like, there's some good to be done here with recycling. I mean, we should really capitalize on this.
Oh my gosh. I'd be so afraid. I'd do the wrong thing and then I end up losing a freaking arm or something, you know?
Well, just don't try to make a human out of nothing, and I think you'll be good.
Yeah. But like, what's the cost if I decide to make like food?
You're good. Nothing. You just got to have the ingredients for the food.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still don't fully understand how alchemy works, but
Well, okay. In the show,
because it's like you have to
have a transmutation circle.
Yeah.
You don't have to give up anything. It's just that the law of equivalent exchange says that you have to have, for whatever you're going to make, you have to have the equal amount of material to make it.
Oh.
In the case of like Ed giving up his arm and leg, it's that he had to give up his arm for Alphonse's soul. Mm-hmm. So his soul was like equated to his arm. Mm-hmm. Or like the knowledge that Ed gets from seeing the truth and like learning everything or whatever. Mm-hmm. That cost him Alphonse's body and his own leg. Mm. So like that was the exchange, the equivalent exchange. Mm-hmm. But then because Ed saw the truth, mm-hmm. He is able to do transmutation without a circle. He mm-hmm. like puts his hands together to make a circle with his body, and that allows him to transmute things without a circle, which is like further explained deeper into the show.
Yeah, I still don't want it. It's too much.
You still don't want to be able to use transmutation and alchemy?
It's too scary.
Well, I will just say it's a great show. You should keep watching it. It gets like so it gets so much deeper. So many more characters get introduced. Like, we haven't even met my favorite character. There's like a bunch of 7 Deadly Sins characters.
Yeah.
And there are like, you've met lust, gluttony, envy. I think that's it.
Yeah.
You still got wrath, sloth, greed, and pride. And like every single one of those characters is like, oh man.
Yeah, gluttony's gross.
Yeah, gluttony's whatever. He
eats people.
He does eat people. Yeah,
that's scary.
Right?
He's a titan.
Yeah,
he is a titan.
But that's what's really cool about it. Like, you have these 7 Deadly Sins characters. You don't really know what the origin of them is and where they came from, and they're evil. Yeah, and you will learn all of that. But they play into like envy. Yeah. Envy can like transform into people. Gluttony can like eat whatever.
They kind of remind me of like the villains on Sailor Moon.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. I dig that.
Give Sailor Moon villain vibes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Nice.
It's a great show. I hope you keep watching it.
Yeah.
I'll try not to hold it against you.
Yeah.
All right. You want to do next week's assignments?
Let's do it before our like power goes out. It looks bad out there.
Yeah, it does look bad out there. Who would like to assign first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
So since we just got engaged, so I have made a list of like wedding movies that I want to watch.
Oh, okay.
But there was one in particular that I want to assign you because it is a movie that I feel like no one's ever heard of, and I came across it when I was in high school, and it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. And it's called Bachelorette.
It's just called Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
Never heard of it.
Yep, exactly. I don't think anyone's heard of it.
The Bachelorette.
It's got Kirsten Dunst. It's got Isla Fisher. It's got what's her name? Lizzie Kaplan. It's got Rebel Wilson. But she's like a very minute character.
Okay.
She's actually the bride.
Okay.
It's focused on the other girls more. It's got freaking Adam from Parks and Rec. What's his name? Adam something.
Adam Scott.
There we go. Adam Scott. It's got dude from Sonic.
Ben Schwartz?
No.
James Marsden.
Oh, okay. It's got a lot of people, and like I said, I don't think anybody's heard of this
Bachelorette.
movie.
Yeah, I've not heard of this.
So yeah, It's a wild ride.
All right, cool.
Also, there will probably need to be a trigger warning before the next episode.
Great.
It's rough.
Ooh, lightning warning. All right, let's wrap this up. So, okay, for my assignment, because you have 2 weeks off, I was given permission to assign you a video game. This is something that I need permission for, folks.
I sound terrible.
So, yeah, you gave me permission to assign a video game.
Yeah.
This is partly why I wanted to record yesterday, was to give you enough time to play it. But because you love Tom Holland so much, and because he was in Uncharted, I wanted to give you Uncharted.
Woo!
Specifically Uncharted 4.
Okay.
Because it's the best one. It's the most cinematic.
Okay.
I replayed the first 3 during the pandemic, and they just kind of felt like, I guess, old. And I think for like that top of the line premium Uncharted experience, that made for the PS4, playing Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
I'm actually really excited about this.
Sweet, good.
I really want to play the game, so
Good. I am also excited. And I purchased the PS5 version yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
It was on sale it was like for $20. It came with Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is like the expand-alone that they made after 4. It's like a shorter kind of like spin-off. It's not a sequel. Like, it's not sequel level improvement. It's just more of the same type of game, but like with different characters. And they're both just like a great package.
Nice.
So yeah, there you go.
Woohoo! I get to play Tom Holland.
Yeah, but not at all Tom Holland. But you'll get to see like what why they even made a movie. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay, cool. So next week you will have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Bachelorette. Very cool.
That's so funny.
And thank you for joining us for Grown Ups and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I know. Such like a happy, sweet movie with like the most depressing
The
thing
most
ever.
depressing thing, yeah. Great juxtaposition. I'm here for it.
Oh, God.
All right. We'll see you in 1 week.
Yep.
Hope you enjoy your week, and we'll catch you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.